Welcome back, everyone. So we've been getting some pretty big news about the iPhone 12 in these last couple of days. And it was reported about a month or a month and a half ago, I think maybe even 2 months ago, that these new iPhone 12s are probably going to be coming out in a staggered release. So what this means is basically Apple will be releasing a group or a set of iPhones at the first hand, and then basically release a second batch of iPhones in the other hand, or a couple of weeks or maybe even a month later. Now this might seem crazy, it might seem like something Apple will never do, but they've done this before a couple of times. They've done this even more recently with the iPhone XR, but even before that with the iPhone X. They actually released that, a while after the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus released, and with the iPhone XS and XS Max, they released the iPhone XR eventually after that. And what I can tell you is that will probably make the most sense, but the weird thing is that I kind of want Apple to release a certain set of iPhones before, like ones that I like more than the other ones, and what it's looking like is that Apple is probably going to be releasing the iPhone 12 Max and the iPhone 12 Pro, both those 6.1 inch models at the same time. In the beginning with, these will be the earlier ones that come out, and then eventually they'll release, the more expensive models and also the cheapest model, a little bit after that. So the 5.4 inch model and that 6.7 inch model a little bit later. Now what this means for the majority of us is that, the iPhones are almost always probably going to be delayed anyway because of the whole entire pandemic. So regardless, even with those iPhone 12s, they're going to be released, later on eventually. But I was hoping that Apple will release the smaller models or even the cheaper models before, and then the more expensive models later. But it seems like they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be releasing one expensive and then one cheap iPhone, and then a couple of weeks later or a month or whatever it's going to be, eventually release another expensive iPhone and then a cheap iPhone as well. Now that's kind of more realistic in my opinion. That's kind of what's going to happen. But the weird thing is that why would they end up doing this rather than just releasing all four at the same time? Now a lot of people have said because there were delays when it comes down to the shipping and all that stuff, with the whole pandemic and stuff, which makes sense, but it's still kind of weird that I'm sure they already have these phones already, created and everything, so I don't even think there needs to be a delay. But again, I'm not Apple, I don't know what they're doing. I would just assume that they already have all their phones in and, ready to ship out and stuff, but I could be wrong. Now, in terms of what's going to be inside of these phones, I've talked heavily about what's going to be in them. Basically, the bottom tier 5.4 inch model, there's going to be two 6.1 inch models, and the top tier 6.7 inch model. As far as we know, they're all going to have notches. The two cheaper models are probably going to have, lower end panels. Then the top two end models are going to have higher end panels. But on top of that, as far as we know, there may be a 120 Hz refresh rate, there may not be. We really don't know. It seems like there's going to be a really weird mixture. I don't think it's going to have 120 Hz. Maybe it'll have 90 Hz. But the thing on top of that is that I think these iPhones are going to sell like crazy, but the sad thing is I don't really think many people are going to go for that top end iPhone. There's many reasons for this, and I think Apple knows this too. First of all, Apple is already going to be selling a cheaper end model, that 6.1 inch model, by the time that iPhone 12 Pro Max comes out. But on top of that, that 5.4 inch model is really going to overshadow the release of that 12 Pro Max, in my opinion, just because the size difference and the price difference as well. So take it as you will. I'm not really too sure exactly what they're going to do, but if I had to assume, I would probably say that iPhone 12 Pro Max isn't probably going to sell well. I feel like it's going to have the most amount of features. I would probably end up using that one, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that iPhone 12 mini or the standard iPhone 12 is going to sell the most, even though it's going to be delayed. But I guess we'll see what happens when the time comes. But that's pretty much the release cycle of what we're seeing so far. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.